over here. We do that about 5 times, and he'll go, man, every time he picks it up, he's going to come back here.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he sees that I'm over here every time, it's like, this is different. Now, he goes over here. He's going to start anticipating that that's what's going to go. So as soon as I stop him, he's going to look, I'm going to throw, and instead of me running over here now, I'm going to walk over here. And when he picks it up, I'm going to give him a sit whistle. And then I'm going to say, over. As he swims, and what he's going to do is he's going to swim and look at me and over again when I go to him. And I just keep pushing him. So if he goes like this and starts swimming, and I'll stop him, I'll give it back towards that pile, stop him, cast him over. And I just walk over. Okay. Once he figures out we do that 15, 20 times, then I'll do the same thing, but instead of me walking with him, I'll just go over. I'll walk with him.
Sure.
But I let him make his own decision. And as long as he's going correctly, I just let him go. And then so he'll learn that, right? Mm-hmm. That usually takes 40 or 50 repetitions in the water. That's why he has to learn how to swim well. Now, once he does it this way, we turn around and run it from the other direction, so now he can do left-hand counts. And so what it does is, they are so tempted to get up on land. They get them up in the mouth, like, I gotta get to land, I gotta get there. That's where they're more comfortable.
Right.
So it goes against everything they've learned in their life so far.
Yeah.
But what it does is it cements those overs and the discipline to stay in the water where you're supposed to. Then, once he comes out of there, we start doing real blinds. He'll come out and he'll run real blinds. I don't recommend you do it yet. But if you want to start teaching him some stuff, I've been doing some stuff with him. They're called pattern blinds. Okay? I'll show you how to do it right now. I'll teach you how to do it right now. Right now, I've had real simple ones. But I'll show you what he's doing cast blinds and I'll teach him pattern blinds. You're going to want to run pattern blinds. And once you feel around and they're going, wow, look at all this stuff. I got a horse over there, I got birds flying. They're just like, you also got tongue and they're like, where do I look? And so they're filling you. Watch the head, watch his head swing. It'll go here, 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 until he figures out. He's got to start understanding that head is lined up with my foot, right, or my body. So we want his head, his spine. We always said head, spine, tail. Okay, tail. It's just kind of a thing that people throw in there. But head and spine lined up. So the spine should be lined up where he's going to go, and his head should line up where he goes. If his head's over here and he starts to go, he'll go this way, and then I'll kind of follow his head. Yeah. So we really want to get that straightened out, and it's every young dog does it. They're doing this, trying to lock in, and as they get more comfortable with the lines, they're going to here. So if you ever watch, and I've run Trooper for you.
Yes, you have.
But I touch him, and his head goes, literally that far, like just degrees, where your dog is going to go. What we want to do is just run. It's literally hundreds of thousands of pattern lines. And you just kind of do them all over the place. That's all I'll explain to you before we do it. So, sorry, my foot's killing me. Okay, so a pattern blind is, I would find a field fairly nondescript. You can do it in a park, you can do it in an empty field. We just don't want a huge amount of cover. Okay, we don't want a lot of elements that he has to go through. But because we're trying to work what's called push-pull, we're just pulling them around to one and push them over to the other. Okay, and so I would take a field where I could run 3 to 5 of these pattern runs. And so the first one I would teach, let's say I'm going to do the middle one. So I would go out, take him to within about 10 or 15 yards of where I want that pile, and I would just toss like 6 bumpers there to that pile with him watching.
Yeah.
Then I would say, dead. When he locks in on where, because he's going to be able to see these things.
Okay. Good.
And you send him. And when he picks that up, I'm going to turn around and start walking on this line that where I want to eventually end up.
Okay.
And let's say if I'm going to do a 3 pattern field, I do 3 to 5 patterns. So if I'm going to do a 3 pattern field and I'm going to end up here, then my lines all have to come back to that spot, right? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go 10 to 20 yards at a time. Usually dogs at about 50 yards break down.
Okay.
They start losing they don't look, when you're doing that dead bird, you're trying